Hi, Tilly Carlson here. Anytime is a good time for the cinema of Clint Eastwood. I mean, the guy is certainly one of my favorite movie cowboys, but he's also one of my favorite contemporary set film actors as well. Today, we're going back to the late 60s, early 70s for one of his iconic cowboy roles, this being Two Mules for Sister Sara, co-starring Shirley MacLaine. I'm going to unbox this release and share my opinions. Close-up there of our cover art featuring the two leads. Spine text, back cover. There is reversible art on this. Kino seems to be doing that with all their Clint Eastwood releases, so that's much appreciated, and that looks very nice. And then back cover largely the same as the slip cover. This set includes the international cut of the movie in 4K Ultra High Def, which is actually a little longer than the domestic cut. And the domestic cut is featured on a Blu-ray disc. Brand new HDR Dolby Vision Master International Cut. From a 4K scan of the original 35mm camera negative. From Don Siegel, the legendary director of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Coogan's Bluff, Dirty Harry, Charlie Varick, The Shootist, and Escape from Alcatraz, comes this classic western starring screen legends Clint Eastwood and Shirley MacLaine. Eastwood is a hard-hitting drifter who rides into town and single-handedly rescues a local nun from a gang of bandits. After meeting a band of Mexican revolutionaries bent on resisting the French occupation of Mexico, the cowboy and Sister Sara decide to join forces with the freedom fighters and set off on a deadly mission to capture the enemy's garrison. But along the way, a steamy romance develops between them when the soft-spoken hero discovers the nun is not what she seems. Ending with a violent climax at the well-protected fort, this action-packed western classic cemented Eastwood's status as a true cinematic superstar, featuring a masterful score by the great Ennio Morricone. When it comes to movie cowboys, you can't do a whole lot better than Clint Eastwood. This, of course, was just a few years after he'd made the Dollars trilogy over in Italy with director Sergio Leone. And by this point, he'd come back to America and become a star in his own right. I mean, just a few years prior to this, in America, he'd also made the film Hang 'em High, so Eastwood's star was certainly on the rise. This movie was one of the many that teamed him up with director Don Siegel. Siegel would probably best be known for directing Clint Eastwood in the original Dirty Harry movie in 1971, but he'd also direct John Wayne's final film, The Shootist, in 1976. Eastwood is accompanied in this film by Shirley MacLaine, who portrays the title character, a nun who he has to rescue from some marauding bandits who have their own plans for the young lady. But it quickly becomes clear that maybe this young lady isn't quite what she seems, as sweet and innocent as she may seem on the surface. What results is an adventure through the frontiers of French-occupied Mexico, with the twosome having to team up with a group of bandits to take down the French nationals and reclaim Mexico in their own names. And of course, along the way, there's plenty that goes wrong. The chemistry between the two leads absolutely makes the film. I love any scene that these two share together. And of course, there's plenty of action to go around when it's called for. The movie does keep you guessing, and that's always a good thing. When we finally get some of the later revelations regarding the title character's past, it's even more of a shock, but in my opinion, it just makes the movie that much more enjoyable. The final shootout sequence near the end of the movie is actually surprisingly violent. That this movie's actually been able to keep a PG rating is honestly a little surprising. I mean, I would almost argue it's a hard PG-13 by today's standards. But overall, it is another fantastic Clint Eastwood Western, and one that I was certainly happy to revisit with this release in 4K from Kino Lorber. I'm happy to say this 4K from Kino Lorber looks absolutely fantastic. This is a beautiful looking scan. All the natural film grain is intact, and these Mexican frontiers have never looked better than they have with this release in 4K Ultra High Def. There's a ton of detail, and while it's certainly not the most colorful picture in the world, those colors do get a nice vibrant boost when they're present, and of course with so many scenes set at night, the deeper, darker black levels and extra shadow detail are certainly appreciated. And we do get a handful of bonus features. We get commentary tracks on the 4K disc, 2 of them, and then we also get a vintage black and white interview with Clint Eastwood from back in the day. And then the Blu-ray disc also includes some radio spots, TV spots, and a theatrical trailer. Two Mules for Sister Sara is not one of the more talked about Clint Eastwood films, and that's kind of a shame because it actually is a very good film, featuring great direction from Don Siegel, and then of course that beautiful musical score by Ennio Morricone, who had also scored the Dollars trilogy. So I can very highly recommend this 4K release of Two Mules from Sister Sara from Kino Lorber. How about you? Are you a Clint Eastwood fan? What are your thoughts on Two Mules for Sister Sara? What's your favorite Western you ever starred in? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. See you next time.